Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we're back in Echad Uial, ready to continue with the Black Book where we left it. We just came back bringing the news to Faramir of what we saw in Minas Morgul.
So we are not the only ones taking an interest in Minas Morgul.
From your report, it sounds as if Ugrukhôr and Lyrith have both sent their forces to the city, and Gothmog still commands a significant portion of the orcs within. Furthermore, these Morgul cultists spoke of one called Ugrukhôr, about whom I have heard little. These interests may not align with each other for now, but we cannot take the risk that they might set aside their differences. Any of these foes will slay us without a second thought. The Valley of the Secret Shadow. I do not like the sound of that. Perhaps Mithrandir will know something of this place.
The Valley of the Secret Shadow.
That is Turingwath, but its location is unknown to me and to any good folk, I should expect. Do you remember the orcs that challenged the forest gate on the edge of it in Lasgalen? The note you found mentioned a hidden pass named Falkkurth and a secret enchantment. It is possible these spells mask the way to Turingwath. But I have come here for another reason. I have uncovered developments most interesting from my study of the Black Book of Mordor. So what are we gonna take? Where's the agility one? Agility, vitality, critical rating, finesse. I'm not so sure about this one. Okay, but let's hear what Gandalf has learned about the Black Book.
I will tell both you and Prince Faramir what I have learned.
Let us not delay. I will tell both you and Prince Faramir what I have learned, if you and he have the time and the interest to listen. I sure do.
Faramir, I must ask that you not pepper me with questions.
I must ask that you not pepper me with questions while I tell you both the tale, or it will take much longer. Trust that Beriathan will explain to you anything you do not understand. A wizard's time is valuable and I cannot spend all day relating my discoveries to you. Are you both ready to listen? Very good. Very good indeed.
These are the halls of memory, where the words of Voin give shape to deeds from long ago. Hold your questions, Faramir.
When last we left Voin and his companions, they adventured in the Grey Mountains. Let us turn our attention to the Eret Mithrim and pick up the thread of that tale. It seems every new discovery leads to further questions. I wonder what else we might learn from the words of Voin. Why is Gandalf not with me? You come with me, boy. For 3 years, Voin and his new companions adventured the length and breadth of the Grey Mountains and the northern reaches of the Misty Mountains, hunting down the remaining vestiges of Angmar and bringing battle to the evils dwelling in Gundabad. Never did they know defeat, and their triumphs emboldened Prince Eärnur. He remembered a promise he had made years before. Intent on seeing it fulfilled, he invited his companions to make the southward journey to his home, to Gondor. They would stay for a time in Minas Morgul, as his city was then called, and plan the occasion of their next victories. The evils that lurked still in Gundabad must have rejoiced to see them leave. The words of Voin draw us forward. Alright. Voin does not record the name of the tavern. Might it have been the Merry Swan? Oh, this is nice. Yes, I believe it might have been this Merry Swan, Gandalf muses, stroking his beard. Another round. Only one more? I say give us two at once. My throat is parched, the Southlands are dry, and I have a great thirst. Then we will be spared more tales of your lost city? Poor boy. That seems unlikely, Makilnis. Ha! So it does. The harps sing loud, the fires burn low. Enough, my friend. I think we all know the song by now. I did not call you all here for drinking. You didn't. Not only for drinking, Seal. What then? You know of Halannon, the survivor of Durthang? Aye. We do. He survives no longer. He died in his sleep 2 moons ago. Well, I know nothing of him. Old, was he? What did he survive? Christ 10 years ago, Halannon served in the fortress of Durthang, the Black Shield. The fortress was taken by Ugrukhôr, the captain of the pit. The defenders surrendered. Ugrukhôr accepted their surrender and slew them anyway. All save one, Halannon. It is a sad tale, and one I fear will become all too common where Mordor is concerned. I met with Halannon some years ago and promised to enact his vengeance upon Ugrukhôr. I will slay the captain of the pit and retake Durthang, I told him. But there was never a good opportunity, and now Halannon is dead. What will I say to his sons if I never make good on my promise? You could make certain to never cross their path. I jest, it is a jest. Durthang, you say? When do we leave? The plans were made and they were kept secret from all but Eärnur's band. Even his father, the king, did not know what they intended. Boyne says this of their departure. Pleasant weather, few clouds, warm but not uncomfortable. Left the city without incident. Silmatar thinks so highly of our chances that he believes the prince will be made king upon our successful return. Gandalf frowns. It was not to be so, Beriathan. If indeed they met in the Merry Swan, they should have left all traces of merriment behind them. But they did not. To the prince and his friends it seemed almost a holiday. It beggars belief that they thought it would be easy. I can read the admonishment in Voyn's words, born from late wisdom. Too late. It is with reluctance he draws us on to Durthang. Right, so what now? The fine weather of our departure did not last, Gandalf read solemnly. So this is... okay. A dead orc? Alright. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Their experience in Mordor was bleak. To hear Voyn tell it, nothing went right for them once they passed into that land. The fortress that was once called Durthang became far more inhospitable with its transformation into Durthang. It was more well defended than the adventurers expected, and they faced strong opposition from the very beginning. Silmathar soon changed his opinion of their fortunes, receiving a leg wound that caused him a great deal of pain and put a limp in his step. They found no sign of Ugrukhôr within the fortress, and as their dream of slaying the captain of the pit faded, tempers in the fellowship ran hot. Eärnur dulled his sword on the thick hide of a mountain troll, and with each combat the blade weakened further. At last it snapped, and the Prince of Gondor was left weaponless. You cannot continue without a sword, my prince. Wilt mine in place of yours. But that will leave you weaponless, and we need your blade skill. No, I will find something else. This will do. An orc blade? That is a poor substitute. It will have to do. Alright. Right. Give me just a moment then, Gandalf. It's not every day you see King Eärnur wielding in an orc blade right next to an orc corpse. So yeah, they were brave. There's no denying that, but also foolish. Extremely foolish. The adventurers knew they could not reclaim the fortress without first slaying Ugrukhôr, but for as long as he eluded them, Durthang would remain the property of Mordor. Their spirits lowered their resolve to leave, and that, Voin tell us, is when they felt a new presence upon the battlements. What is that? Oh, an apparition approaches. Oh! Leave it be. We had best get out of here. Wait, I know this presence. Urudanî. Magoldir, we cannot stay. How can this be? How are you so changed? Magoldir, I hear more orcs approaching. I had hoped you would abandon Mordor. What happened to you? Magoldir! Knights of Gondor, to me! Now you will die, witch. The creature is gone. Old elf, what were you thinking? Ah, Voin, you're right. It was a deception. I was foolish to believe it. Eärnur, he will not last. The orcs are getting closer. It sounds like a lot of them. Hurry and lift him up. We have to go. No, Eärnur, these wounds are my last. I can feel it. Listen to me, Eärnur. Take my sword. Wield Orthadel and defeat evil. I will, my friend. Now go! Magoldir. Voin, I expect the far... We have to go. This place is not safe. And so, the survivors of Eärnur's band returned to Minas Morgul, defeated and mourning the loss of their friend. Silmatar's hopes as they set forth did not come to pass. Indeed, King Eärnur was more wroth than they had ever seen, and he forbade his son from leaving the city without his consent. To Voin's eyes, the prince was made a prisoner, and every day the flame of Eärnur's rage grew hotter still. Eärnur met with Voin and his knights in secret to weave elaborate plots of revenge against those he blamed for the death of Magoldir, Urudanî Stonemaiden for the deed itself, and Ugrukhôr for his absence at Durthang. If he had been there, Voin writes, the whole adventure would have gone differently. The prince is sure of it. Gandalf strokes his beard. I see in this account much that is familiar, Beriathan. No, not the deeds themselves, for I have never seen any record of this doomed expedition to reclaim Durthang in the text of Gondor. What I find familiar is this description of Eärnur, son of the King Eärnil II. Even the known records of his disposition describe Eärnur in life as bold, brash, and reckless. I wonder if he remained so as Mordor and now as Gothmog. That is enough for now, my friend. And Faramir, I trust you paid attention as well. These are matters that concern you closely, for this foe now lurks upon the very edge of your land, and in a city that will demand your protection and that of your king once it is retaken. Alright, this was a very interesting instance for many different reasons. The first time I did it, I might have missed some of this because, well, it's tying up a lot of plot threads weaved around during the entirety of the Black Book of Mordor, which I now can see more clearly now that I have played this in one go, basically. But yeah, that's what I missed initially. The fact that we're talking about Durthang, that we visited during our journeys in Mordor, and Ugrukhôr and Urudanî, which were also there. Now Magoldir, which met Urudanî during our time in Mordor Besieged, and has fallen to here, giving his sword to Eärnur. I mean, oh my god, this was very interesting. But let's see what Faramir has to say. There is still more to it. Please talk to me, Faramir.
That is quite a tale.
One day you will need to tell me where you found this curious stone, Beriathan. The sigil on its face cannot be mistaken for anything save the Eye of Sauron, which marks it as an artifact of evil. How then came it to tell the tale of King Eärnur? Nay, not even so, for he was not yet king. But still, little is recorded of the years before he followed his father Eärnil to the throne. To find such an account in a book bearing the mark of Mordor is troubling to me. But Eärnur's doomed adventure into the Citadel, now called Durthang, has brought to mind a recent conversation. Berigon spoke to me of somewhat with an interest in that place. Speak to my captain and ask him what happened to the man with the shield. A man of Ithilien he was, but I confess I do not know his name. He was here at the camp, but I have not seen him since I returned.
The man with the shield? Aye, I remember him.
I did not much like the look of him, though.
What did he name himself? Annoth, I think he was called.
What did he name himself? Annoth, I think he was called. He carried a broken shield around with him, and it seemed to me he repaired it as best he could with leather straps. The thing was barely holding together and looked as if it would fall apart at the first blow of an enemy's weapon. Irresponsible. I sent him to conducting an inventory of the rations and water for the camp, but he has not reported back to me. Go find him, will you? He should be somewhere by the tent to the northwest among the crates. Alrighty, so well, first of all, level 127, that's amazing. Now, Annoth. You might remember him as well. He came with us to Durthang. That's the table, but... northwest of Berigon. Daggerus catches your eye and calls you over.
Our work is never done, is it?
It is good to see you again, Beriathan. Our work is never done, is it? I would not have it any other way, my friend, and I suspect neither would you. But you are here seeking the Ithilien ranger with the broken shield. I wonder why he carried it around with him, but I did not ask. He seemed particularly interested in the map on the table over there, just to the west. Alright, now here we go. Annoth's dagger is embedded in the map, marking a location northwest of Minas Morgul. And as fate have it, yeah, you can have a look. I love this little detailing here. I mean, I love that we can physically see the map. Travel to the location Annoth marked on the map, northwest of Minas Morgul up in the mountains. That's in Cirith Ungol. So for that, it's fortunate that we still have our milestone there in Cirith Ungol. That will save us some time. Don't you worry, girlie, we are going. But now we need to, well, leave the camp and look for him. So this is the moment I told you the Black Book would be backtracking a little. I mean, you have two different options in here. You can either follow the Black Book and come to Cirith Ungol right when you get this quest, but that would mean you will enter Minas Morgul and climb the ramp to the third circle. Or you can do as we did and do Cirith Ungol first and then advance the Black Book and come back here. Or a third option even would be advancing the Black Book and the landscape quest in Minas Morgul at the same time. Bullet footprints lead to the southeast. Did Annoth come this way? We'll see. So as I was saying, you can do the Black Book and the Minas Morgul landscape quests, and then come here to Cirith Ungol to do the Black Book and the landscape quests as well, and that might also work. But as you see here, we are already a little out-leveled for this area, so I'm not sure how well that option would work, but it's certainly possible as well. I might try to do that next time I replay through this area. Just to see how different the quest flow feels. Which one feels more natural? Yeah, and here we have our good friend Anna. Annoth waves a greeting. He does seem surprised to see you, as we are to see him. You might remember, yeah, the broken shield, the sword. So what brings you here, Annoth?
I see that Hundalar has not yet sunk a dagger in your back.
It is good to see you, my friend, for it means the Hundalar you brought out of Gorgoroth has not yet sunk his dagger into your back. I urge you now as I urged you then. Keep Ayers and the Willy at arm's length, for he cannot be trusted. You ask Annoth why he failed to complete the inventory with which Dagoras entrusted him, and the Ranger grimaces. You make your point sharply, and it wounds me. I do feel badly about shirking that duty, but I had little choice in the matter. I overheard from some of the scouts that Ugrukhôr himself had been seen west of Cirith Ungol, and that he made for Minas Morgul. I have not given up my quest to avenge the thunder in Beriathan. I will make the captain of the pit pay for his crimes against them, though they be 1,000 years distant. Let Ugrukhôr fear the descendant of Halannon the survivor. I will let no other task hinder me in my vengeance. But it seems the reports were false. He has not come himself, so far as I have seen, though his orcs talk among the cracks. Will you search for some sign of him up the path to the northeast? Then I will return to my duties. Path to the northeast. So yeah, this seems to flow with or accompany in a way the regular quests in Cirith Ungol. At this rate, we might come to the orc camp, Castle Across, but those are Eärnur's orcs, not Ugrukhôr's. So, well, that at least is a little bit weird. We'll discover soon enough what's the actual deal with this. Okay, mangled orc. There we go. What's this? The dead orc bears Ugrukhôr's symbol and carries a report for his master. And can I read? Ah, yeah, I can read that report. Okay. So what do we have here? Ugrukhôr. The tunnels are still crawling with spiders, and the spider folk seek them out. Half, or more than half, are slain by the very creatures they worship. The passage is not safe, but my boys have not seen any sign of her, not since we came down this way. We did not venture very deeply inside, and saw no sign of any but spider folk making the attempt. If Gothmog has found a weapon to use against the spider folk and their mistress, he keeps it to himself in his tower. I will send this report back to you with a runner. None of us wants to stay here any longer. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it does accompany the Black Book and the landscape quests do go together for a little bit here in Cirith Ungol, but it seems not much.
What does Ugrukhôr's captain have to say to his master?
Annoth studies the crumpled note. These words are full of fear, Beriathan. It seems the masters of Mordor have more warriors than King Elessar or Prince Faramir alone, or indeed the two of us. They fear the treachery of their allies. Listen, if Gothmog has found a weapon to use against the spider folk and their mistress, he keeps it to himself and his tower. The promise of such a weapon will surely draw Ugrukhôr to Minas Morgul. Let us be grateful that the Ungolidae did not slay every member of this orc raiding party, for word of this should still reach the captain of the pit through the survivors of that band. He will come for Gothmog and for this weapon, and I will be ready. The Thundering will be avenged. You should bring this report back to the camp, tell them what we have learned, and that Ugrukhôr knows Fenasgast is close to him. Instead, he sends small raiding parties into Imlat Morgul by way of Torek Ungol, as I suspected. Yeah, we've seen some of those already. We saw, well, the camping here, Banam Lugaun, and we also have Ugrukhôr's forces on the first circle of Minas Morgul. So yeah, finding an optimal flow for these quests is really difficult, but at least now all of them are converging once again. The Black Book will send us back to Minas Morgul. We have already advanced the quests in Minas Morgul a little bit, and then we will proceed. So once again, a little bit of backtracking, but this is what felt more natural to me at the time. Annoth shirks one duty and seeks to avoid punishment by providing useful tidings. I have seen it before, but I am not his commander, and it is not my place to levy judgment. But I would caution him against pursuing vengeance with such single-minded purpose. He would not be the first to make such a mistake, nor I fear the last. But this report does help me piece together some of what I believe Gothmog has been up to while we were occupied with other matters.
After the defeat of his armies at Pelennor, Gothmog fled to Imlat Morgul.
Following his retreat from the Battle of the Pelennor, Gothmog fled to Imlat Morgul and the safety of the Dead City. Did he attempt to weaken the bridge west of Minas Morgul as both Isildur and the Lord of the Nazgul had once done? I cannot say for certain. I destroyed that bridge to protect us from further assault, but it occurs to me now that there was another result of my action. So too did I protect Gothmog from further assault by us. The western approach was blocked, and he needed fear no attack from that direction. He then sealed Fenasgast, not to protect himself from us, for we had not yet entered Mordor and he had little reason to think we could, but to protect himself from Sauron and from Sauron's servants. Why would they wish him ill? That is easy to see, Beriathan. He commanded the loyalty of his own thralls, but there were other forces in Mordor that would deem him a failure, perhaps even a traitor to Sauron. Had he not suffered defeat after defeat in his guise as Mordirid, failing to achieve victory in the north? As Gothmog, had he not then suffered defeat in the fields of battle before the walls of Minas Tirith? Yes, there are many in the Black Land who might question his loyalty, and none so greater than Sauron himself. Had the quest of the ring not succeeded, had the Dark Lord not fallen, who is to say what Sauron might have done to punish Gothmog? But Frodo did succeed, and Gothmog was given a reprieve, brief though it was. I believe his he searched the dungeons and hidden chambers of Minas Morgul for some weapon that might reverse his fortunes. I have learned enough of the Valley of the Secret Shadow to know that the entrance was blocked by enchantments fashioned by the Lord of the Nazgul, such that the very passage was hidden to the eyes of all but the Nine and Sauron himself. But they are all gone, and now Falgurth lies open once again. Did Gothmog delve within, and did he find a weapon he sought inside Thorinwath? Now he hides within Barad Cúron, the Tower of the Crescent Moon. You must gain access to the tower, Beriathan. Speak to Prince Faramir, and he may know how this might be accomplished.
The tower is sure to be well protected.
And gaining entry will be difficult. Would that swords alone might suffice, but I think it would not be so. Minas Morgul is a place of fell enchantment and terrible sorcery, and I suspect our weapons alone will not overcome whatever guards the tower. Defeat foes as you climb from level to level in the Dead City, and speak with such of my scouts as still remain within. Mithrandan in the center of the Merivile haunted tier, and Kulang, who intended to scout the uppermost tier of the city. They may have learned something of the tower's guardians. Good fortune to you, my friend. Our net closes upon Gothmog. I can feel it. Just a little more and we will be done with him, and Middle-earth need fear his evil no longer. Mithrandan and Kulang, those two names ring a bell, though right now I don't remember exactly how. But I think we first met them both in Ithilien. But it's been a long while since that, so I'm not so sure. So now, we could technically take a swift travel to Minas Morgul, but before I forget, there's actually something that I missed on my way there. So I'm gonna take the chance to do that just now. It's a little bit further to the east. I'm not sure how I missed that exactly. But that's gonna be Kala's Holm Seal. Because you will remember we found we found the building in Minas Morgul that will take those seals, and we're only missing this one. So, once again, it's weird because that seal is located really close to some of the noisome flowers that we were burning a few episodes ago, and I thought I had been very thorough with all this. But somehow I missed this. And it wasn't really that hard even. You will see in just a moment. It was actually... Well, it was not on the road itself, but it was so close that once again, I'm not sure how I missed it. I missed it again. Yeah, take a look. It was just here. How did I miss this? I don't know. Let's take a look. You stumble across a strange seal bearing a mark of pestilence, the seal of Kala's Holm. How it was placed here remains a mystery. It seems this stone seal was once set in something. Perhaps an answer lies in the dead city of Minas Morgul. Yeah, we know where it lies. So we just need to make our way back there. Oh, I think I have an idea. Yeah, I think I know. How am I gonna do this? But yeah, first of all, we gotta go back to Minas Morgul. We are actually not that far. Yeah, it's really strange. Once again, how did I miss this? I'm not sure. But we have it now. We have all the seals. We'll be making our way there eventually. But now for the Black Book. We need to defeat some orcs. And since we already did all the first circle, there's no quest that will help us with this. Garlic. So yeah, we'll just need to fight some orcs before we go back to the second circle. That's what we're doing right now. So yeah, I gotta say, this detour, quote-unquote detour, back to Echad Uial was way shorter than I thought it would be. Way shorter. So I'm kind of surprised we're already back in the city. But I'm glad. Glad to be back too. Now let me grab this chest instead. So yeah, we'll be fighting some orcs, and then we'll go back to the rangers at Barad. Ah, those goblin screams are so funny. Is it on? Okay. So we can go back now. That was quick. A chest in here, that's great as well. Alright, and I didn't miss take the wrong turn this time. So yeah, we're back. We're gonna grind first the ingredients here at the mortar and pestle. You have concocted a potential remedy, you hope.
The old gods have been laid to rest, and slowly Minas Ithil is restored.
Still, there is much more to do upon the Circle of Sorrow, my friend.
The paths of the spirits travel to the old songhouse.
The paths of the spirits travel to the old songhouse of Lindalire. There they are tortured and corrupted by what I do not know and cannot say. We should travel to the old songhouse and free those who have yet to be taken by the sorcery of Minas Morgul. We must be careful, for the Circle of Sorrow is full of ghastly horrors. Ah, we still need to take the remedy from it. Okay. Now to treat the rangers. There we go. So yeah, as you see here, we're going back to the song houses. And that also will give us a chance of, well, placing all the seals in the sockets. And fighting the dead along the way for the Black Book, so it's all falling back to place once again.
What strange climbs these are.
Did it work? I am full of amazement that it does not appear to be poisonous. I mean, I did not doubt that it would work, friend. We owe you our gratitude.
What strange climbs these are.
Now that the most pressing task is dealt with, I can now continue to study the strange sorcery that envelops these lands. I wish to learn more about the glow of the dead city, the Morgul Sheen. Would you search for the Circle of Sorrow for dust of the same color as the Morgul Sheen? Perhaps a study of this dust will help us to learn more about the sorcery and the glow both. Oh, take a look at all the quests that we can turn with Damrod as well.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
You have done the Rangers of Ithilien a great service. I thank you for your efforts assisting us upon the Circle of Sorrow. We shall retake the dead city soon enough.
Let us not tarry.
I am surprised you were able to find even a few untouched remains, but it is a welcome discovery. I will have this safely sent away to Minas Tirith, where they may once again know peace. I thank you for your efforts.
Let us not tarry.
You have learned a great deal about the Circle of Sorrow and must have been unpleasant. It would seem all these locations, the Hall of Rot, the Shrouded Forge and the Sunk House, all work together to procure a Legion of the Dead to serve Minas Morgul. I will send rangers to these locations with the hope that this plan will be thwarted. Yeah, that was something that I was just thinking the other day reviewing the last episode, well, fixing the audio in the last episode. I was able to see all those pieces then fall together. I mean, in the Hall of Rot, the dead are stored. Then, well, some spirits are also corrupted in the Song House. And the dead then converge at the forges where the three spirits were creating the army. So, it was a really good piece of environmental storytelling that I missed the first time, but I'm glad I was able to catch on it. And we also have in here, we have completed Respected with a White Company. So let us see all this. Now we're working towards Honored. That's great. So here we have the new deed. Honored in the White Company. There we go. Here we have the deed that we completed. That's a Respected. Where is it? Respected in the... okay, White Company. Oh my god. We missed a lot of sigils. I hadn't realized we are capped on them. So we have missed a lot of them. And I don't like that. Anyway, we have also a title. You have reached Respected status with the White Company. Cool. And some LOTRO points as well.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
You have done the Rangers of Ithilien a great service, but there's still more to be done if we are to cleanse the shadow from this corrupted city. Yeah. We still have a couple more quests to do.
Will you hear my plight?
So, even though Damrod is right now sending us to reclaim the axis, the tower, towards the third circle, we're not doing that just yet. We still have a couple quests that we can advance in here. So that's what we're going to be doing for the remainder of the episode, I guess. As far as I remember, there shouldn't be any new quests for the buildings we've already been in, except for the sunk houses. Thing is, we also need to find the Morgul Sheens, so that might take a little bit longer. No, I don't think I... Well, yeah, not interested in that chest. Maybe I should stop bothering with them. But the fact that I got a shard the other day makes me want to keep trying. It's just that we need to keep an eye open for the Morgul Sheens. I don't see any right now. And in the last episode, there were so many of them. Kinda sucks that... Okay. One. But we need 8. It's gonna take a little bit longer. But we are still one-shotting all these guys, so... that's still great. It's a lot of fun still. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's one Shane here up this ramp. So if need be, we can come back to this location later, but... Well, now we seem to be finding more of those. And here we also are back at the socket locations. So we just grab these 2 guys in here. Well, we have 5 of them even. Faster than I thought. Okay, let's do the sockets now. Part of the device seems to be missing. So yeah, this is gonna be the pattern on all these sockets. There are still some missing components. And those components are located in the upper levels of the city, so I at least was right on that regard. there are still things we'll need to find. We cannot open that still, but we're making good progress anyway. What does it say? Yeah, somewhere in Minas Morgul. Doesn't say much else. Oh, these dead lights count as sheens. That's great. All right. So yeah, we already have all the dust we need. So it seems we're only missing the Song House now. Freeing the spirits. And we are already here. Awesome. That's great. Oh, a heavy chest. Why not? Awesome. Skip this one. And here we have the spirits. So yeah, as you see here, each of these bound spirits does have a special sound effect to them. And the sound effect goes when they are freed. And I am bringing this up just due to the fact that I was not able to recreate this sound of the bound spirits, this effect, during the last episode, in which I had no audio and I went away and reconstructed it myself as best I could, but I couldn't do this. I couldn't find how to recreate the effect the bound spirits produce. And now we are freeing them, so it's going away anyway. What happened? Doesn't make any sense. What happened? And we freed him while stunned. That also doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, don't worry, girlie. We're helping these guys as best as we can. Oh, for God's sake. Gotta talk to Dolenthal now. And I think as soon as we complete this quest, the bound spirits will phase out. Let's see. Beriathan, over here, let us rest a moment. I must speak to you about something, and perhaps you already have your suspicions about me. I would expect no less from an old friend like you. The gruffness in Dolenthal's voice departs. It is your friend, Eowyn. She briefly reveals her face to you, confirming that she speaks the truth. I thought to insist to Faramir that I travel to the Morgul Vale with him, but decided... What did you decide? decided otherwise at the realization that he would be overcome with worry for my safety. What preoccupations does the arrival of love bring to the hearts of men? He must focus on his own task and not on the safety of his beloved. As at Pelennor, I have come in secret. Until now, the Rangers believe me to be only a new and eager recruit. I reveal this to you because I know you will keep my secret. The Nazgûl had formidable blades made out of Morgul steel, a terrible ore found here in the Vale. I have seen the dead in Minas Morgul wielding those same blades. You know as well as I that these dangerous weapons must be destroyed. Let us search the Circle of Sorrow for such weapons and dispose of them. It is not only the Sunk House where spirits are tortured and corrupted. I have seen many desiccated remains elsewhere in the Circle of Sorrow, trapped and waiting for those who will do them harm. We must search for these spirits and set them free. So, well, first of all, as I told you, the spirits have phased. You cannot see them or listen to them anymore. That's why I had so much trouble recreating that sound. But anyway, and most importantly, Eowyn. So, well, we've been questing with Dolenthal already a few times, and you might have realized that, well, she was always voiced by a woman, even when she was trying to keep the facade of being Dolenthal. So the first time I played this, I thought, well, the devs are really dropping the ball. How can they have missed? They got a woman to voice a man, and then of course you get this reveal that she's Eowyn and everything makes sense. And and instead you come to appreciate the little clues the devs were leaving you to realize Dolenthal was not who he claimed to be. So that was a really good detailing there. But now that we've gotten the Great Wedding, I mean, the first time I played through Minas Morgul was before the Great Wedding was released. But now that I am playing through Minas Morgul after the Great Wedding, you might remember that at that time, Faramir was thinking about asking for Eowyn's hand, and it seemed, or at least it seemed to me, that well, the romance had not yet matured, so... And you might also remember Eowyn and Éomer left for Rohan to bury Theoden. So this also leaves me wondering how this exactly falls into place as well. All the chronology of this. And now I have the theory that one of the future books in Volume 5 is gonna deal with Eowyn and Éomer and Theoden's funeral back at Edoras, and Faramir's and Eowyn's engagement. They are not married yet, but it seems that the relationship still needs to evolve a little bit more in between what we saw during Midsummer and what's happening now in Minas Morgul. So yeah, I think there is something else in between that the devs have not yet released. So I would really love to see how all this turns out eventually. And of course, also the fact that Eowyn once again decided to disguise herself as a man in order to go to war, which, now that I've been thinking about this in the past few weeks, and I'm a little confused by it, because after Eowyn and Faramir met at the Houses of Healing, one of the things that Eowyn says is that she will surrender war. She will not try to go to war anymore and instead dedicate herself to be a healer. But if that's the case, what is she doing back here fighting? So it's once again, I mean, I think, or I would love to, well, finish my adventures here in Minas Morgul to see if I can piece all this together. But for now, there are still a lot of questions. I still have a lot of questions. But anyway, that was all my rambling concerning Dólenthul, Éowyn, and Minas Morgul in general. We've been looking for the blades, the Morgul blades. We already have some. We've been destroying the cages. Some of the spirits go free, some of the spirits attack us. And we also got a chance of fighting some Merivile as well for the Black Book. Wasn't necessary, we will find enough of them in the third circle, but it's still a welcome addition being able to fight some of them already. And I think, yeah. Yeah, that's basically all we're missing in the second circle now. The cages and the blades. For example, there's another couple of Merivile in here, right next to the Morgul blades. Okay. That's great. And we're also almost done with the White Slayer deed, the advanced here. So maybe we can complete that deed naturally as we finish these last few quests in the circle. If not, then it's just a little bit of grinding that we're missing, so we can do that. I mean, we're still missing a lot of Morgul blades. But we're almost done with the cages. It's a shame though that the shades and the spirits don't count for the deed, but even with that, we're almost done with it. Really? Alright, that's a little bit better, and there are a couple blades in here. Yeah, we're right next to the forge as well. And we've basically also defeated all the Merivile for the Black Book, I mean. So okay, once again, that's welcome. I mean, not complaining. It's always a little bit weird to me how they are Merivile in the circle when they are the prominent enemies on the third circle, but I think they were added in here so you could advance this antidote quest and do everything in the second circle before moving to the third. But that also then has the side effect, intended or not, that you can advance the Black Book a little bit faster too. Just missing a few more blades now. Should be okay. Oh. That reminds me though. Should I? I am earning towards valor. Should I use another virtue tome? I mean, maybe I should. Because once again, we are leveling up and unlocking more virtue ranks faster than we can get virtue XP. So every little bit helps. There's another blade. Oh, okay, I see it. I see it. That's great. We can go back now and turn in all these quests. Yeah. We need to. We have already taken enough time as it is. And the last white for the deed too. Awesome. So what do we have in here? White Slayer of Minas of Black Morgul advanced. Some runes, some points. Let us check this really quick. The virtue XP as well. Valor is now level 65. Thank God. And the runes, the reputation, and the points. So let me take all the task items first of all. Crafting materials. Ah, I'm already here. I could use some of this. Okay. Let us turn in all these quests so that we can begin next episode going to the third circle directly.
We will defy the enemy and take back these lands.
What fascinating dust you have given to me, Beriathan. It is not unlike the dust that gathers upon the furniture of an abandoned house, but see how it glows. Arador throws a small bit into the air. Look, it does not catch the slight breeze in here, but floats, as if it were bound by some other force. It might take time, but I will continue to study the Morgul sheen. You have my word.
It concerns me that we have bought the Meravile during our task to destroy the Morgul blades.
Are they tasked with stealing the blades from the dead, or did they make a pact of some sort with them? We should investigate this matter further. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I felt as if something were watching all of us.
Since we came to the Circle of Sorrow, I have felt as if something were watching all of us. When that drowsiness takes me, I hear whispered voices and a single name. The name is Thargown. You tell Dolenthal that you have also heard this name before, but it was not in a dream. It was the rumor of an alliance between someone called Thargown and the vile Kirkgrim of Black Morgul. Thargown may be the one who commands the dead in Minas Morgul. If he were willing to make a pact with such creatures as the vile Kirkgrim, a pact with the Meravile could be just as likely. We must seek out this Thargown and put a stop to these plans. Not only the Kirkgrim, the Kargul, when we were taking the tower, also spoke of him.
We have done well in our task.
But I fear that our efforts have been noticed by something that lurks in the shadows. It watches us even now. We must be ready to face this mysterious master that controls the Circle of Sorrow. Well, that's where we're going next, it seems, but we don't have enough time today for that. So join me next time, and we'll help Eowyn investigate the dead in Barad Cúron. For the time being, though, this has been all on today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.